And the people's next witness.
The people call Hayden Rodriguez to the stand.
Hayden Rodriguez, please report to the stand.
Please wait there. Please follow me. Please stand there.
Please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly affirm that the testimony you're about to give will faithfully and truthfully conform to the facts and rules of the mock trial competition?
Yes, I do.
Please state your first and last name, spelling out your last name for the record.
Hayden Rodriguez, R-O-D-R-I-G-U-E-Z.
Please be seated.
May I proceed? Good afternoon, Mr. Rodriguez.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
What do you do for a living?
I'm actually a reporter for the Acorn Herald.
Were you reporting on the O'Kennedy rally on September 14th, 2017?
Yes, I was. I was writing a piece in the paper on some of the radical groups that had planned to attend the rally.
Do you know the defendant, Casey Davidson?
Oh, absolutely, ma'am. I'm a political reporter, first and foremost, and Casey Davidson, well, he's one of the most politically active people in town. I've seen him at multiple rallies over the years.
Did you see the defendant at the O'Kennedy rally?
Oh, yes. He was in the thick of things.
Did you know Alex Thompson?
Yes, ma'am. He, too, was one of the most politically active people in town.
Did you see him at the O'Kennedy rally?
Yes, he was there as well.
At any point at that rally, did you see the defendant and Mr. Thompson fight?
Oh, yeah. I'm pretty sure everyone did.
Well, did that surprise
Objection,
you?
Your Honor. Vague and ambiguous as to who everyone is.
Yes, sustained.
Motion to strike.
Motion granted, yes.
Thank you.
Just to be
If
clear,
you wish to be heard, go ahead. It seemed pretty obvious, but you can retort if you wish.
just to be clear, is the latter portion of his answer that everyone saw stricken?
Yes,
The beginning remains?
yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Did it surprise you that the two of them fought?
No.
Why?
Well, it's no secret around town. The two of them, Thompson and Davidson, did not care for one another.
So how did the fight on September 14th, 2017 begin?
Well, Davidson comes up to Thompson, begins yelling at him. They begin a fight, struggle over what looks like Davidson's walking stick.
Objection, Your Honor. This witness is lapsing into a narrative. Opposing counsel asked how the fight began, not how it ensued.
I don't think it achieved a narrative yet. It's all overall.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Please continue.
Well, after they begin struggling, Davidson screams at Thompson, "Get back on your side of the line or you'll get what's coming to you."
How did it end?
Then someone comes up from behind Thompson and punches him right in the face. It was crazy. He begins to bleed, runs in the direction of the bathroom.
Well, how did the defendant respond?
He walked in the same direction.
Did he say anything?
Yes, ma'am. He said, "Here's my chance."
Was he carrying anything?
He had his walking stick.
Thank you. Nothing further at this time.
Cross-examine?
Cross-examination, Your Honor.
Yes.
Once again, my name is Patrick Briley, and for the convenience of the court, this witness's statement can be found starting on page 35. May I proceed?
Yes, please.
Good afternoon, Mr. Rodriguez.
Afternoon, sir.
You attended the O'Kennedy speech on September 14th looking for a story, correct?
I'm pretty sure I had a story, but trying to fill in the gaps.
And you are familiar with Mr. Davidson, correct?
Yes, I am.
And you are familiar with Mr. Thompson?
Yes, I was.
And you saw an altercation break out between the two of them on the day of the rally, correct?
Yes, I saw them fight with one another.
Now, before this altercation broke out, Mr. Thompson crossed the police line, didn't he?
Yes,
And before this altercation broke out, Mr. Thompson began throwing eggs at people, correct?
Objection, relevance.
Any response?
Your Honor, it is the prosecution's theory that because Mr. Thompson frequently threw eggs at people and therefore incited violence and created enemies, that there were people relevant there. There were people there that would have wanted him dead.
Any response to that?
Yes, Your Honor. In that case, I move my objection to improper character evidence.
All right, do you want to respond to that?
Yes, Your Honor, this is permissible because it is offered to show the victim's character.
Your Honor, the victim's character is only admissible if it goes to show the defendant's innocence, and this character of the victim does not show
It
that.
could be relevant on that, though. It could be probative on that point. I'll overrule the objection.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Go ahead.
Now, Mr. Rodriguez, you saw Mr. Thompson throw eggs at people, correct?
yes, I did.
That was before the altercation began?
That was.
And once the altercation began, Mr. Thompson grabbed the walking stick, correct? Mr. Davidson's walking stick.
Yes, they struggled over the walking stick.
And it appears though Mr. Thompson was trying to take it from Mr. Davidson?
That's what would appear so, yes. But he did not.
Now, out of nowhere, right after that, Mr. Thompson was punched in the face, correct?
Yes.
He began bleeding.
Yes, he did. He had a nosebleed.
In fact, the nose was gushing blood, wasn't it?
It was quite a profuse nosebleed.
And you were a few feet away, right?
Yes, I was.
You weren't as close to the nosebleed as Mr. Davidson was?
I don't know about that.
Mr. Davidson was close enough to... I'm sorry, Mr. Davidson was close enough for Mr. Thompson to grab the walking stick, right?
Yes, but they had already exchanged words at that point.
And now, you noticed, despite the fact that you were a few feet away, you noticed a number of large blood spatter drops on your shoes, correct?
Later that evening, I went home and saw blood on my shoes, but I'm not sure what it's from.
You're not sure what it was from?
No.
But Mr. Thompson's nose was gushing blood, and you were standing right next to him, correct?
Objection, asked and answered.
Sounds that way.
Submitted, Your Honor.
Sustained.
Now, in your witness statement, you mentioned the blood on your shoes immediately after you discussed the bloody nose, correct?
Objection, hearsay.
I'm sorry, could you ask that question one more time?
In his statement, he mentions the blood on his shoes immediately after mentioning the bloody nose. That's what I asked.
And go ahead and elaborate on your objection.
Yes, Your Honor. Opposing counsel asked, in your statement you said following, and the statement that Mr. Rodriguez has made is an out-of-court statement that opposing counsel is using in court for the truth of the matter.
Are you using the statement for impeachment?
No, Your Honor.
What's the purpose of the statement?
I'm simply offering to show that it was possible that the blood came from the nosebleed.
Is he denying that? Maybe you should just ask that question first.
Your Honor, this witness testified that he did not know where the blood came from, implying that it did not come from the nosebleed.
I see. All right, then you can go ahead and ask. Yes, overruled.
Did you have an opportunity to answer?
No, I don't believe I did.
In your statement, you mentioned the blood on your shoes immediately after mentioning the nosebleed, correct?
That's correct, but like I said, I don't know where that blood came from.
And after this altercation, you saw Mr. Thompson walk away from the crowd, correct?
Yes.
And you saw Mr. Davidson walk in the same direction?
Yes, that's correct.
And you heard Mr. Davidson say, "Here's my chance"?
Yes.
And he didn't walk away and say, "Here's my chance" for minutes after Ms. Thompson left the rally, did he?
Well, Mr. Thompson went and talked to a friend and then walked to the back of the crowd. That's when Mr. Davidson said, "Here's my chance."
And that spanned over minutes?
A couple short minutes, maybe.
Now, you didn't see where Mr. Davidson went after he said, "Here's my chance," did you?
No, I did. I saw him going to the direction of the back of the crowd.
You didn't follow him, though, did you, Mr. Rodriguez?
No, I did
So
not.
after he left your line of sight, you didn't see where he went?
No, I did. I saw him go towards the back of the crowd.
After he left your line of sight?
No, I did not.
And so you did not see his destination?
No, I did not.
And you did not see what he did?
No, but I saw him with his walking stick.
And you returned home that day glad that this story made for good material, correct?
Excuse me?
You returned home that day glad that this story made for good material, is that right?
Sure, suppose so.
Your Honor, no further questions.
Any redirect?
No, Your Honor. May this witness be excused.
Yes, you are excused. Thank you.
Thank you.